Today I'm going to show you the SSD KC600 from Kingston with 512 gigabytes. See the specifications, but before that, subscribe to the channel because I post new videos every week. The SSD comes in a hard plastic case. On the front, you can see the logo and the model of this SSD and say that is 15 times faster compared to a 7200 RPM hard drive. On the bottom we can read SATA revision 3 up to 6 gigabits per second. And now let's do a speed test. Let's open the computer and install the drive. Let's plug the data connection and the power, and we don't need to screw this drive, it's very light. Let's just leave it for now. For this test we are going to use Crystal Disk Mark, and we are going to do 5 tests with 1 gigabyte. Let's choose this drive and let's start all the tests. In the first test we are going to do a sequential read with 8 queues and 1 thread. Let's wait for the results for this first test. In the first test it did 548.52, now 549.84. It will do 5 tests for this first one, and we reached 549.98. Now in the second test it's also a sequential read with 1 queue and 1 thread. Let's wait for the result, and we did 405. Let's see now, 408.97, 409.13, and final result is the same. This was the final result. So let's do the third test. Now it's a random read with 32 queues and 1 thread, and we did 225.75, 227.23, now that 56. So we are doing half the speed of the first test, 228.03. Now the fourth test, it's a random read with 1 queue and 1 thread. So the results are lower, 30 megabytes per second, 30.6, and let's see, the final result is 31.1. Now let's do the write tests. Let's start from the beginning. In the write tests we are going to do first a sequential write with 8 queues and 1 thread, and let's see the result, 493.77. Let's see a few more tests. Let's wait for the result, and it's, let's see, 495.61. Can we go higher? No. Now the second test, it's a sequential write with 1 queue and 1 thread, and we did 416 megabytes per second. Let's see more results, 417. Let's see if it can go higher. This is the final test, and we did the same value. Now the third test, it's a random write with 32 queues and 1 thread. Let's see the result. Let's wait. And the result is 162.99 in the first test. Let's see if you can go higher, or is this the maximum speed? Right in random. Looks like it. This is the final result, 163. Now the final test, it's a random write with 1 queue and 1 thread, and the result should be low, 61.81 in the first result, but is still better than the write in this type of test. It's double of that. We did 31 in write speeds, and now we did 61.81. And the test is over. These are the final results. So the brand promised 550 megabytes read speed, and we did 549.98 megabytes per second. So exactly what the brand promised. For the write speeds, we should go up to 520 megabytes per second, but we only did 495 megabytes per second. 25 megabytes lower, but is still close enough. So we have confirmed that the speeds that the brand promised are true, because some brands really lie. This SSD has a capacity of 512 gigabytes in a 2.5-inch format. It has a SATA 3 interface up to 6 gigabits per second, uses a SM2259 controller. It has NAND 3D TLC memory, XTS-AES encryption, read speeds up to 550 megabytes per second, and write speeds up to 520 megabytes per second. Only weighs 40 grams and has a TBW of 300 terabytes. This was the Kingston KC600 with 512 gigabytes. I hope this video helped you decide if you should buy Kingston SSDs and specific this drive. Now subscribe to the channel because I post new videos every week. Hit the like button, and if you have any questions about this product, write in the comments below.